My name is Erik Sjovall, and I'm animation director for Prince of Persia: Forgotten Sands. The original plan was always to bring back or to bring the original trilogy to the next gen, to PS3 and Xbox 360. So it exists completely by itself next to the 2008 version of Prince of Persia that came out. The original trilogy was made for PS2. It was always the thought of like taking the original trilogy, the gameplay, the visuals, and the ambience of that to the next generation, and keep working on it. The 2008 version was a breakout out of that within the same universe, like. Let's call it 1001 Arabian Nights is not all about Aladdin. It's about different stories within the same universe, and that was like that. So it's using a different type of visual, different type of art style within the gameplay of Prince of Persia, but the going back to the trilogy was kind of like back in time. It had nothing to do with the feedback of fans from the 2008 version was taken, but it was not the contributing factor of like, hey, the fans thought, let's go back to hardcore gaming, let's make no, it was not like that. It was always the plan, and the development for this started at the same time or during the development of 2008, Pop 2008. I think it was a breakout. It was groundbreaking in a couple of issues. For example, we tried out a couple new things like how do you deal with error management? You couldn't die. Have a second character like Elika. How to break the gameplay up in the Prince of Persia, like between you separate acrobatics and fight. So it was an experiment. We tried to truly do something new and unique. Maybe it's being looked at as an experiment, but it definitely wasn't one. We experimented a lot, but it was not an experiment. What the plan is with either the Pop 2008 or with whether this is being broken into a trilogy or developing the story of the original Prince any further, I can't say. We will see what Ubisoft management or the IP, the franchise team wants to do with the IP. One of the things that we really wanted to do was to make sure that we don't do arena fights, so that we bring the acrobatics and the fighting back together. We wanted to, like in Sands of Time, we wanted to have a tight and very fast and responsive gameplay in acrobatics as well as in fighting even more than in acrobatics. So we looked at what worked in Sands of Time, we looked at what worked in the whole trilogy and also in Assassin's Creed or Pop 2008, and that all was brought into the Pop Forgotten Sands. I think if you played the game in the preview, you will have noticed that there's quite a challenge there. So there's a learning curve. So you will be introduced to the different acrobatic ingredients, to the different types of gameplay features, but the game will become increasingly challenging with each level. Every level will introduce something new challenging that will break the gameplay up in some form or the other. And so we definitely made it accessible to new players because we will come out at a similar time than the movie. And so the movie is a great opportunity for us to have a new audience being introduced to the franchise, and if these new people discover the game, they might not be hardcore gamers. They might be faced with hard challenges. So we try to actually make the gameplay sort of balance and also build the gamers up to the challenges in the later part of the game. One of the things was, of course, error management, the rewind, because people in 2008 were complaining, "Oh, I can't die," so you'll die a lot now. So but when you're getting sick of dying, then you have the rewind power that will get you back to the last save point. It's a bit different. You can't stop the rewind like anywhere, but you can. When you jump in the air and you fall, and the rewind will bring you back to the last ingredient that you're safe on, and then you can safely go to where you're supposed to go. For example, if you fell from a wall run that you're back in the wall and you can go up. So another thing is we brought a couple of moves back. So there's the curtain. We brought the curtain fall back, that you stab your sword in the curtain and go to all swashbuckler manner down a piece of fabric. The other classical moves are back. I'm like in there, like you can take them out, like the horizontal and the vertical wall run. But of course, what changed a lot is the fighting. Although the idea is always the same, it was always like our goal to keep the ideas of the old game and to bring it in a more updated form in the current game. It's 6-7 years went by, so we had to update the gameplay as well. You have to really look at what the old gameplay was. I mean, people have maybe a little bit of a good memories about it, but when you really play the old game, it's a bit of a slow gameplay. You sometimes have to wait until an animation plays completely out. It's not very reactive, so you have to analyze in terms of gameplay and level design what it is you want to really bring over and how it competes with any of the other products out there right now. So. No, there are absolutely no tie-ins with the game. So Disney and Jordan Mechner, who is the original creator of the franchise, who also worked on Sands of Time, but he is now working with Disney and Bruckheimer on the film. We're working on game to the game rather than they be the movie to the game. The timing is of course very lucky because one thing is. Will thrive on the other. So, and the film we really hope will bring new people to the franchise. And what we also hope is that we will bring old people, old gamers that played Prince of Persia, but then went on to play other action adventure titles back to the franchise again. I would say Jake Gyllenhaal looks awfully like the guy, like the prince in Warrior Within, wouldn't you say? So I think like what we're doing is we're copying, or we're basically not copying, but we're being influenced by ourselves, whereas they're influenced by us, which is, I think, pretty awesome. I like it. When you look at the costume, it's definitely Warrior Within, and so we don't. I mean, we're basically being influenced by ourselves. We look at what they do, but it's not like that. We're saying like, oh, look at that. We need to do it like this now. No, they are being influenced by what the game was, and I think that's pretty awesome. So that a film is being influenced by the art direction of a game speaks for itself, I'd say. It'll be out in May 2010.